Welcome to Ketubah.com's Ketubah 101. My name is Aliyah Gluckstadt. I am Ketubah's social media and content manager, and I'm here with Tani Gordon, who is our operations manager.
Hi everyone. We're excited to talk to you guys today about text. We know that we get many questions about types of text and what goes into the text, so we hope to cover all those different topics today.
Yeah, choosing a Ketubah text is probably the second most daunting thing after you finally decided what design you've chosen. Those are the two major things that you're going to be deciding, and there's often a lot of questions, and so we're going to get into all the different minutiae, and if you have any questions afterwards, you'll be able to leave a comment and let us know. So the first basic question I think most people have is, how do I even choose a Ketubah text? You go online and you can see that Ketubah.com has a variety of options. So how do you choose what Ketubah text?
So obviously, great question. We always recommend that our customers, our couples, start by talking to their officiant. Very often, officiants have a particular text that they want the couple to be using, depending on the type of wedding ceremony they'll be having, whether it's traditional, Orthodox, conservative, reform, same-sex, interfaith. There's so many different types of ceremonies, therefore we have various texts. We also have texts that will come in very often Hebrew and English. Those are the two languages that are most commonly ordered, but we do have the option to add other texts as well.
Right. I think there's a big misconception that a lot of people who will choose a traditional ketubah and are maybe on the more Orthodox side or having a conservative wedding, that it's actually not Hebrew per se. It's actually Aramaic. And that's a big misconception. If you don't know traditionally, you might try to read it if you can read Hebrew and realize you don't understand it because it's actually Aramaic. And that's a big confusion that people sometimes have. Choosing the wrong text, but you're actually, if you're having an Orthodox traditional wedding, your rabbi might prefer that you do have the Aramaic. And the next thing that I also think is really funny is if it has English and your officiant or your rabbi has said that that's okay, the English is maybe not an exact translation of what the Aramaic traditional text is. It's usually more romanticized, and it's written in a more romantic way about what the ketubah sort of symbolizes and what it's about.
Right, and exactly, that's one of the things that the questions we always get is, the English sounds a little too technical when it's a translation of the Orthodox or conservative text. Can we select a different English? And 100%, we have 5 different English options that can match with that Hebrew/Aramaic. It's really Aramaic, but I think where people get confused on that is that it's actually Hebrew characters. So when you look at it from a glance, it looks like it's Hebrew. There's not different characters in the alphabet, but it is Aramaic. So you can choose your traditional Aramaic text, the conservative text, which is also referred to as the Lieberman text because it contains a small Lieberman clause, and then you can pick any of our different English texts to go along with it, and that way when you walk by and read the English part, it actually speaks to you. It's something that you're really interested in and it touches you. It's not as contractual as the Aramaic portion of the ketubah.
Now, technically, in what order in the ordering process does this come? Do you do it before you choose your design, after you choose your design? If you are choosing a different English than what you've chosen, how does that work? How would you recommend customers go about that?
Yeah, well, certainly. We think that most of our customers get more excited about the actual artwork. So very often customers go through the artwork and they fall in love with the piece that they want, and then they move on to the text part. But really, if the text is something that you're more interested in, you can do that as well and look for the text that suits you. Every one of our ketubah designs is able to accommodate all of our text, with the exception of some of our designs have space for 2. So there's the double rings. In that case, we do recommend that you have both a Hebrew or Aramaic text and an English text, or a Hebrew, Aramaic, and a different language text. But really, those designs work best with 2 languages. But other than that, really feel free to fall in love with any of our designs and then go in and select which texts works for you with the consultation of your officiant. That way you can not have to worry about, oh, which design, which text. Pick what you like from each, and then we can put that together for you.
Okay, and now what if somebody wants either a different language, or maybe they have their own vows or their own text that they want to write and they want to put into the ketubah? Is that a possibility, and how does that work? I feel like that's a question we do sometimes get.
Yeah, definitely, and we do have a whole bunch of people who go with that option. We have a text option called, well, it's actually part of the selecting your, when you select if you want to have your text filled in or not filled in, there is an option called a custom text. The custom text is really you customizing the text exactly the way you want. If you want your ketubah to have Spanish text on it, you simply send us a Word document with the Spanish text you want on it, and we will put it inside a text proof for you to review. If you want to have your vows written on it, same thing. Send it to us. We'll put it in as a text proof for you. You can have your own vows, and you can choose one of the traditional Hebrew texts and have your vows in English. You can have your vows in French, and you can choose a traditional Hebrew text. You can even, if you want, have your vows translated by us. So you want to keep your vows, but you want to have that two texts on it. We can translate into Hebrew. We are capable and experts of doing that. We're not really experts in many languages, but Hebrew and English are great. Any other language you submit to us and we'll take care of that for you as well.
That's awesome. I love that, because that really makes it more personal and people can do what really speaks to them and feels the most connected to them. And the last thing I think also is, if they want to see it before it's produced, is it something that automatically happens, or is it something that you need to request?
Great question. So when we have texts, we have two different actually options of text in terms of, we can do the fill-in for you, which means that you submit the couple's names, the date, the location, and we will put that embedded within the text for you, so it looks seamless. The other option is, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people like to have it handwritten in at the time. So that is an option. It's called handwritten text, which means you get the ketubah, and within the text there are blank spaces for a friend, an officiant, someone to fill in. Just remember that person needs to know Hebrew if you're having Hebrew on the text, so that they know how to fill that in. And you can do that option as well. So there are those two different options. If you select the option to have it filled in by us with the matching digital calligraphy, you will get a text proof. So you'll be able to see the whole entire ketubah. You can look at it, your officiant can look at it, your parents can look at it, whoever you want to have a second eye over the text to make sure it looks good can review it and approve it. And only once it's approved, that's when we proceed with producing the actual ketubah. So that's actually a really nice perk of not only having the matching calligraphy, but also getting a proof for you to have a look at it, make sure everything's okay before it actually is created.
And especially having your rabbi or officiant read it as well, they might catch something that you maybe didn't. And I love that, because they might notice something and catch a little error, and we can just change that and fix it.
Definitely.
So I think those are all the main questions that we get most frequently about Ketubah texts. If you do have any other questions, you can always reach out to our amazing customer service team. Tani, how can everybody get in touch with the customer service team?
Sure. So our customer service team is really pretty accessible, because we have our regular toll-free number. It's 1-800-722-7182. You can go to our website, Ketubah.com, and click on our chat icon. There's always someone there to chat with you. And we also have regular email, info@Ketubah.com. And there's always all of our social media channels that you can reach out to our team. Facebook, Instagram, we're there. So follow us, check out the latest and greatest in Ketubahs.
Yeah, you can send us a message or leave a comment. We will definitely answer your question or refer you to the right people who will get the question answered to you. And we're there 24/7.
Yeah, excellent.
Great. I think I find this really, really helpful. And if you have a subject or a question that you guys want us to answer in one of these videos, leave it in a comment, send us a message, and we'd love to hear it.
Definitely. Well, thanks, Aaliyah. This was great.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.